A very good afternoon. This is still Sports Central on EzeSportsTV. We are at the home of a Nigerian legend, the best of them all in Nigerian football, the highest personality as far as Nigerian football is concerned. I don't know how to best introduce him. He's somebody I've always heard of when we were growing up, and it's just an honor that we are here today with Coach, Captain, Christian Chairman Chukwu. We are happy to be in your home today, sir.
Yeah, welcome, my brothers. Welcome, eh?
I mean, this is just the best, that we can give you in Sports Central so far. Being in the home of a Nigerian legend, and we want to share with him his experience as far as football is concerned and how it all started. So I am Kester, and of course behind the camera is Daniel, the editor-in-chief of Sports Central. We also bring greeting from our chairman, Prince Justin Eze. He said we should greet you.
You're all welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
I appreciate.
Of course, the last time we heard about you, it was when you came back from London, where you underwent some treatment. We want to know, how are you feeling now? How is your health?
Well, for today, we thank God that we are still breathing and kicking. Well, I will say that things are getting better, at that time, and we are still surviving.
So we sincerely pray and hope that you keep getting better and better, because people like you want you to stay with us, because you mean so much as far as the unity of Nigeria is concerned. Football have brought a lot of fortune for us, and we want people like you to keep staying with us. Thank you very much, sir. So how best do you think government and individual can help people like you, considering the things we are seeing recently about health issues and all that, former internationals? How best do you think government, of course individuals, can help in those situations?
Well, as I said, we thank God, and I can assure you that the government is doing its best, and I have the individual, a man I have respect for. His name is Otedola. I think without him today, things would have been different. He's the man that wrote off my bills and everything and took me to London and everything. And the government also contributed. So these two people made sure that I am still talking and breathing today.
It's good to know. It's good to know, sir. Your club, the 042 Legends and ex-players in London, in USA, do you have such programs where you take care of yourselves, at the ex-internationals?
Yeah, we have something like ex-Rangers, where we meet every last Tuesday of the month, and it's still a child organization. We are just starting, and there are other organizations around Nigeria, and they are doing their best so far, but they cannot achieve much, because those of us that played for the sake of playing, not the money and everything. So, but thank God we are still growing, and the most important thing is that we meet ourselves, we see ourselves, and we feel happy, that we are still talking to ourselves and know ourselves.
So, sir, what would you say is the difference between Nigerian football right now compared to when you played, when you are a vibrant player? What would you say is the difference now?
Yeah, a lot of different. When we are playing, we play what we call amateur football. And today they are playing professional football. And you could remember when we are playing, we walk and play. That's the essence of the amateur football. And we are civil servants, but because of the interest, and the talent in us and the joy we have in playing, so we don't get much those days. We don't get much those days. But what we get now that the present players don't normally get is that popularity. In those days, when we play finish, we win our matches. Even if you go in the market women will dash you bitter leaf, the butchers will dash you meat, and all this. They are known. They are being held. You enter transport, they carry you free, and so on. But the difference is that nowadays there's money. There's a lot of money in it. And we are happy we are the foundation people who built it up, So there's money now, and I'm happy that the young ones are gaining from it.
Yeah, that's the difference. But is there anything you think that went wrong along the line? When you compare then and now, what do you think is wrong now with Nigerian football?
Uh, I
I
don't.
mean, with the money involved, with the money and everything, do you think it changed, the commitment of players and how they see the game now?
Yeah, the difference now is that let me start from the childhood, the parents, and everybody. You can see the parents now bringing their kids to the field, say, my kid want to play football. Like those days, you dare not tell your dad you are going to play football, your mom. They beat hell out of you, you know. Then the difference now is because there's money in it, parents are encouraging their kids uh, to come into it and play the football, And now, I should say, our organization of the game is improving. Unlike our own time, it's a civil service work, no much organization, you are employed, you go to work in the morning and you play in the evening. But now it's professional. They play morning and evening, you know, and the government owns the club, you know, but it is my wish if the government will remove their hands from running the clubs. The government job is to provide facilities that we will use to do that, you know. That's just the difference because the government running the clubs, a lot of politics comes into it, and it didn't give the quality of organization and playing in the game, you know. But I believe that gradually we will come to that stage.
Of course, we just came back from the stadium where we met another former Rangers international, of course, national team player, and we saw some under 13 tournaments being organized. It has always been like that, grassroots people playing from the underage and maturing and getting to the highest level. At a point, we stopped seeing that. What we had recently is when you have upper hand. You see some coaches taking bribe to take some players to tournaments and all that. Do you support going back to that academicals where you have grow talents from scratch?
Yeah, definitely. Football starts from schools. When you go, we all came up from schools. We played the primary school. From there, we progressed to secondary school to academicals. That is where you get the real talents who can play, you know. So I'm still advocating that we should have academicals game. And from academical games, we will get a good young players. And all these clubs now, Rangers, ICC, all these big clubs now can have a junior team from that school internationals. And from there, the teams are built up, you know, and we have more than numerous talents in this country. But we have not provided a way to scout them out and give them the real training they need. so that they can become what God has promised them that they will become. For me now, football all over the world is an industry. It's an industry. And in Nigeria here, we have not called it an industry, you know. So when we start building our team and calling it an industry and so on, then we will achieve our aim. Because right now, when you came into this town, you started looking for my house and so on. But if it is in overseas, all these big clubs have a clubhouse, where people go and relax and eat. Then what we will have done is that I told you people to come to Rangers Clubhouse. And you meet me there and we discuss. And you see a lot of other legends and stars, all over there. But I hope that gradually we'll come to that level.
So I would like to know how good was East Central State Academicals? How good was it?
Oh, it was a fantastic team. We just came out of the war, and we started the football in our schools, and we have school sports, and where we are selected to represent the East Central State in the academicals. And funny enough, the Lagos side and other states, we are telling us that it will take us a longer time to meet up, because they have been there and trained, and we were just out of the war. And we were looking at them and laughing, And when the competition started, everybody was surprised. In fact, that was what gave an Igbo man right in this country again to survive, because the football, the academicals and the Rangers gave Igbo man the right and the confidence to be a Nigerian. That's why the Igbo people don't joke with Rangers and academicals. So it was a very great team, by then.
Yes, you spoke about when you went to Lagos, and during the competition in the semi-finals match against host Lagos State in 1971, immediately after the war, you won the game 4-0, and it was described by Daily Times of Nigeria at the time as the magic. It was said it was magic. It was at Onicom by Godwin Obeze. They called it the magic. Can you tell us about it?
Well, as I told you, people did not expect us to reach that level. And reaching that level, beating Lagos State by 4-0. In that match, Obueze mesmerized the Lagos team. He even sat on the ball, top of the ball, after dribbling and everything. So we really joked with Lagos team. We really showed them that we can play, And Lagos team is a very good team by then, but we came with determination. They said we don't know how to play. We play kick and follow and so on. And eventually we told them that the result of the match is how many goals you score, whether you play tap or you kick and follow or anything. The scoring that is matters. And we were able to beat them 4-0. We have a very strong team by then. Very strong team, right from the goalkeeper to the last man and the coaches by then. So it was a very good achievement, and we still cherish it today.
Of course, we also learned that the same team defeated the original Rangers International. The original Rangers team, I mean, the same team is Central State Academic. How will you tell us about it?
The thing is that when we won the Academicals Cup, we came back and the Rangers won the Amakri Cup, So we came back together and they said to give us reception, the two sides should play, And when the two sides demonstrated and played, it ended in a draw. Yeah, in a draw, And from then, three of us were drafted into Rangers, while the rest of us went into Vasco, because there was a very strong team by then, Vasco da Gama. So myself, Obueze, and Dominic Ezani went into Rangers. Then the rest went into Vasco. And what attracted us into Rangers is the kind of names we were hearing. Just as you said now, you were hearing our names and so on. We were hearing Godwin Achebe, Okoseme, Ufele, all these great players those days. So, and that was what attracted us to the Rangers team.
So what was the experience like playing with a team like Rangers at a time? How did you get into the team? You said it was after the testimonial match, after the match between Rangers, you drafted. How was the feeling like, being a Rangers player?
Yeah, the feeling was nice. I felt fulfilled, because I immediately got a job with the East Central State Sports Council, Then it took me 2 years or so to make the Rangers team. It's not where you come, you get a shirt by then. You don't, because how can I replace Godwin Achebe? How can I replace Luke Akbara? How can I? We were playing, learning from them, and when they were retiring, then we started taking over the positions, and that's how we came to Rangers and became a.
So from Rangers, you also became a national team player. How did that happen, sir?
Yeah, from Rangers, we were invited to the national team. And those days, it was Rangers and IICC that were majority in the national team. It's not that other clubs were not there. We have Bender Insurance, we have Canopilas, we have other top teams, but majority of us came from Rangers and IICC. And it was in 1974 that we were invited to the national team for the first time by late Dan Coach Anyam. And that's 1974. All Achebe all these people have retired. And by then, Dominic Ezani was a captain, And you know that the national team then called Green Eagles. Yeah, we won the All Africa Games. They played by then, That is when we came in. So in that 1974, we had a very good team. We are building the team. And when Dominic Ezani left for the US, then I was handed over the captainship of the team. And I held the captainship till 1980 when we won the Nations Cup. But throughout that time, in 1974, we played the Nations Cup, in 1976, we played in Ethiopia, where we came back with a bronze medal. And in 1978, we played in Ghana, where we came back also with a bronze medal. But in 1980, we have formed a formidable side. You can see how long it took us to build that team. We have formed a formidable side. And God being on our side, we won the Nations Cup in our side for the first time. Yeah, that is how it went.
That was quite interesting, sir. And coach, we'd like to know, as a Rangers player and of course a national team player, the captain as well, which team will you say was your toughest opponent that you faced, both at the club side and of course with the national team?
We have so many of them, We have so many of them. You cannot say that IICC is not a good site. By then, it's not like now. You can go anywhere and play. And those days, you stayed in a place. Where in Enugu, we stay in Enugu. There's no kind of going transfer to this IICC in the Yoruba land, Lagos stationery stores, and so on. So we have a lot of good teams by then, strong teams by then. But the rivalry by then is between we and IICC, and it was so tough that we have to meet in the Cup Winners' Cup competition in '77 in Kaduna, and there it ended in a draw and we won by penalties. That will show you the rivalry between the two teams and so on. And when you come to Africa, we have teams like Hafe of Guinea, we have teams like Moludia Chari, we have other teams in Tunisia, in Morocco. All these teams are very strong teams, and they gave us a very strong matches.
So what about the national team? The national team, who you say was the toughest opponent you faced with national team?
National team, also, those days, our matches with Ghana is always tough. Our matches is with Conakry. Our matches with, North African countries are very tough teams, and we have a strong oppositions all over the place. And no team is easy by then. You cannot say you walk over this team. You must work very hard to make sure that you beat them.
So, Coach, tell us about your overlapping goal against Egypt in Africa World Cup qualifiers. Will you say it's one of the best goals you ever scored?
Well, I will say it's a very wonderful goal. It's when our attackers are held tight by our opponent's defenders, then I will come from behind unknowingly to them and overlap. And when I come nearer the 18, I took a very good shot. I have a very good shot and a direction, So that is what is giving them the problem. They could not believe that a central defender can overlap and come forward when all the attackers are held, and score the goal. That's an advantage to my team. And as a captain, it's a way of motivation to motivate my colleagues, tell them that these people cannot do anything to us, we can win. So I scored so many goals like that. It's not only in overlapping, in the free kicks too. I'm a very good free kick taker by then, especially when it comes near the 18-yard box. I was always fortunate to convert it into a goal. So our opponents always are afraid of committing fouls close to the 18-yard box. So I will encourage our attackers, to make sure they foul them. Yes, so that is how it is. Everybody has his own strategy, and it worked for us.
It really worked. Coach, would like to know what really happened at Mehala when Bakala was taken away, substituted midway to the game in the first half. What really happened? What was the incident?
Well, the Mehala match, we went, to Egypt, we trained, and they took us for a long journey where we played in Mehala. And unfortunately then, Okara had some problems with the site and so on. And when he complained, we said no, he can be in goal because he's one of our top players who supported. So when the game was going on, and Mehala gave us those 3 goals, which should not be a goal. If Okara is Okara, we know. So we find out that he needed to be changed, and he was changed and brought in one Ejo, you know. Then we came back. Luckily for us, we got 1 goal there. It ended 3-1. So when we came back here, with what they did to us in Egypt, we came back here, we said, well, African football, we have to retaliate.
Yes.
And we decided to play the match on a hot sun. It's not that it favors us most. We feel it too, but we know that their weather is cold. They will feel it more than us, you know. And fortunately, it worked out for us, you know. Before we could say Jack Robinson, we have cancelled the 3 goals, you know. And that is where the slogan came, Mehala saw Wahala.
Mehala so Alava. We always hear that, and thank you for explaining where you came from. So, sir, is it true that the NFA bongo the 1975 African Cup of Nations against Hafia of Guinea by insisting that it should be played in Lagos to get a larger fee? We learned that you were in Enugu until the last minute before you were taken to Lagos for the game. Is it because of the fees, having the larger fees for the game?
Yes, by then we are players. We are not the administrators. We came back because the matches are home and away. When we came back, we started preparing seriously at Enugu here, which is our home. And so we never knew the matches will be played in Lagos. So we were playing, and on a Friday or so, we had the news that our match should be played in Lagos. By then, the National Director of Sports is Mr. Kyoye, and our officials, everybody was wondering, why should we play the match in Lagos? They said that all the matches will be played in the capital city, Lagos. Even that Saturday, we have to struggle with the passengers at the airport to enter the aircraft and make sure we got there. So it was not a pleasant thing for us. We could not settle very well when we got to Lagos. And it happened that it happened. And we lost that match in Lagos by 2-1. It's unfortunate, actually. But I wouldn't say it's the administrators by then that can interpret what happened, whether it is politics, whether it is anything. Our job by then
is just to go into
and play the football.
Sir, in 1977, Challenge Cup schedule miscue. We would like to know, you dropped out of the competition because NFA schedule clashed with international competition. How did that happen at that time?
Which
in 1977, during the Challenge Cup, we understood that the competition clashed with another international competition, and that made you not to be part of the Challenge Cup, I think. I don't know. But that's what we read. And I want to know, was there any, kind of having clashes with competitions?
Yeah. By then, we were virtually living in Lagos. There were a lot of competitions. We were playing to qualify for Challenge Cup. We were playing to qualify for the National League, and so on. So at a stage, we can see us playing about 3 matches in a week. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. So we decided, okay, from 74, we were double champions, 74, 75, 3 consecutive years, and 76. So it was not easy. And we were playing Champions League continuously, And in 76, we decided to leave IICC because we are double champion. We decided to choose the league, the Champions Cup, which we feel is higher and more mature than Cup Winners' Cup, And unfortunately for us, IICC went and won the cup for the first time that year, and we could not. Then in 77, we became the champions of the Challenge Cup and we lost the league, So we have to play with 3SC in the same competition. So 3SC was winning and we were winning. And when they won, we would like to win because we would not like to do. So we had a match with Senegal. We played a draw here, and they won their own. Then everybody felt that we were out because we are going to Senegal to play the return leg, That is when we went to Senegal. The Senegal people did everything possible to see that they beat us, But our determination and everything, we were able to beat them in their home ground. And they beat hell out of us, And that match, NSO Okonkwo was shouting that we are all dead and everything. And the head of state by then, Obasanjo, have to send us a flight to come back that night. We came back that night, And that is how we qualify for semi-final to meet IICC.
So that semi-final against IICC in 1977, it was the greatest derby as we learned. How was the feelings and the atmosphere in that semi-final?
Yeah, in that 77 semi-final, we first played IICC in their home, which they said is Lagos, and we had a draw. Then for us to play our own home in Enugu, then they refused. The national, that is Akioye, them and all those people, they became a political issue. They refused that we should not play in Enugu, that Lagos was not IICC home. That it was a neutral ground. You should come. So the thing generated a lot of controversies and trouble and so on. Then the late Yeredua, who was second in command by then, decided to move the match to Kaduna, a neutral ground and so on. So we have to go to Kaduna. And even going to that Kaduna, then the late chairman of ICC, Lekon Salami, said that they will not release us in the national team. That Okara means two of ICC, myself and so on. We said no. We're going to represent our clubs, and we were released, and we went and played for our clubs, and that affected us in the World Cup against Tunisia, when we came as a national team to play the Tunisian national team, which we lost here. We will have gone to the World Cup for the first time that time, and the crowds revolted because they increased the gate fee, did all kinds of things and so on. So it affected us in the national team, and that made us to lose that match, So it's one of the matches I regretted losing because I would have gone to the World Cup for the first time.
Wow, it's great to know. And back to the national team now. You were the most valuable player in 1980. Nations Cup. What what did that mean to you? I mean, being the most valuable player in such a tournament, and in where Nigeria is also winning it for the very first time, and also at the home soil.
Well, it was great. I never expected it. We were playing our normal football. All our interest is to win the Nations Cup. You know, it never came to our mind who will be the most valuable player or who will be that or that. What is in all our mind is to win the Nations Cup for our country. And when we won it, all this other trophies started coming, and we were happy to be honored like that. And you will remember that in 1980, Shehu Shagari showered us with a lot of gifts. National honor, for the first time, I rode a horse in Lagos, as a captain, then they gave us national honors. They gave my colleagues MON, they gave me MFR, and other companies started giving us, and we were showered with houses in Festac and everything. I think that 1980 changed the face of football in Nigeria. Yeah.
Wow, that's great to know. There have been debates, pundits have been arguing that in the 1977 Eagles with Thompson Hussein and that of 1994 Eagles, which team is really the best? Will you say was the best, for our national team?
Well, my brother, it's difficult to predict which national team is the best. All the national teams are good, and best. But the 77 Eagles were amateur, and the 1994 Eagles were professionals, So the two teams were good, and fantastic. And 1994 have a little age because they qualified for the World Cup for the first time, where we could not in 1977. You could say that's an age they have over 77 team, But fortunately, I'm part of the two teams.
Yes.
Because I was a coach in 1994 with Westerhoff, and I was a player in 1977 as a captain.
So, coach, something happened in 1980. It was, I think, it was the finals against Algeria. The Eagles were 3-0 up, and Otto Gloria, the coach, asked Okala to warm up, to give him that respect of having some minutes of the game. But it was waived by the NFF officials. How will you describe that incident that happened? What was it that happened?
Well, as I told you earlier, that time we were players. We were in the pitch. We don't know the politics going outside the pitch, But as we learned after the game, Otto Gloria wanted to give Okara, a farewell honor and so on. And certain people refused. I don't know what was their aim because there was no time the Algerian side could have given us 3 if Okala comes in and win the match. They know the politics they were playing that time. But Otto Gloria have good intentions, and to honor all the players according to their merits and everything, But all the same, it did not affect us, the players. We were one family. After the match, we were together, we sleep, we talk, we go out, we sleep, do everything together, Okara already is Okara, he has an age over the goalkeepers by then with his height, longer reach and everything. So whether he came in or not, he's still number one goalkeeper for the national team.
Wow. So, we also want to congratulate you for being part of that team that went ahead and won the competition. We want to know about your museum at at your home in Obenkano. How is that? How is it?
Which museum? We don't.
Um, uh, we've had that you have a museum at your hometown. Maybe it's not true, and that's why we ask these questions to know and hear from the horse's mouth.
I think it's wrong. I don't have a museum in my village, but I know that when what is his name was governor of Enugu State, he came to Obe and declared a field in Obe, and named it after me. Okay. Whether it's what they meant by a museum or not, I wouldn't know. But unfortunately, that field was not developed today by Omerua. It's Omerua that named it, after me. It was not developed till now. But I hope that one day, one governor will come and did something on that pitch, as a mark of honor and respect.
So I want to put you on the spot now. You played with Rangers and you play with the national team. Can you tell us your all-time 11 for Rangers? Of course, for the Super Eagles, the Green Eagles as then. Of course, the Super Eagles now. Tell us your first 11, all-time best 11 for Rangers Football Club.
It's difficult to. It's a difficult assignment. Yeah, there's no way I can tell you this is all time, because in Rangers, when I entered Rangers in 74, we have a very strong team, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, and these are very, very strong teams, so you can never say that this is this is that, because we won rallies all through, and the national team is the same thing. In 74, when I came to national team as a captain, we were a strong team. We built ourselves. In 76, we went to Nations Cup together. In 78, we went to Nations Cup together. In 80, it's the same team that is good, and that is why we are very, very formidable, with or without a coach. We are very, very formidable.
So if I ask you to pick names for the positions, as you can, remember in your head the players that you always marshal out on the pitch to represent the team, who and who will you put, in those positions?
Like in Rangers,
Yes.
we can say you start with Okala, then you go to right full back, you get NS Ufele. You get to left full back, you have Johnny Will Amusu. You go to right half back, you get Nwabeza Nwankwo. You get myself in the central defense with Dominic Ezani. Luke Abara was equally good. Achebe have retired. You go to the outside right, you have Admachukwu. We have Nwachukwu, we call him Onyibetu, in the outside right. You come to the inside right, we have Kenneth Abana, Magic Abana. We have Dominic Mwobodo. We have Matthias Obianika. We have Kenneth Irodibwe. We have Ogidi Babuchi on the left side. You know, these are great, great players you can think of.
Wow, the great. It's good to know that you still have those names.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So about the national team, I mean, selecting a team now with the time you played, the people you played in the national team, can you help us with your first 11?
Well, if coming to national team, I will choose the team that won the Nations Cup. You know, we have Okala Ingo with Best Gedembe. We have right full back David Yadele, and who we have left full back Okesima. You know, we have Muda Lawal. You know, we have myself and Godwin Odie. You know, we have Shego Debami. You know, we have Aloysius Atuebu. You know, we have Meko Ifeanyi. You know, we have Iwelomo. We have Adoki Amesimeka on the left side. These are great players, you know. And those days, you can never know who to start because we have competition all over the place.
This is great. This is great. Of course, we saw a lot of the clips. You know, we've always liked to see the clips of when you are playing. At least I knew when you are the coach of the Super Eagles, and of course, every young person in Nigeria today knows you for your contributions in Nigerian football, both as a player and of course as a coach, be it in the advisory role and in everything you have done in football. And we are really happy and honored to be with you today to share some of these experiences. The Super Eagles, they'll be playing today with Benin Republic for the African Cup of Nations qualifier. They're already there in Benin and they're going to be playing today. What are you expecting from the Eagles today in that match?
Well, I'm expecting a victory. I'm wishing them the best of luck. We have the materials to get a victory for today's match, and nothing but victory that will make us to qualify for the Nations Cup proper.
And if I ask you to advise the Super Eagles, the players, and of course, aspiring players that are in their club size and people that are, that have the dreams of representing Nigeria, what would be your advice, to them on how to remain focused and, of course, achieve their dreams?
Yeah, my advice to them, if you are not there today, you don't lose hope. You keep working hard because one day it will be your chance to play for the national team. And I want to use this opportunity to plead to the coach of the national team. Let him not overlook the home-based players because charity begins at home. We have a lot of talents here, and now you can mix it with 2, 3 foreign base, But getting 30 foreign base to come and represent us, I don't cherish it at all. It has to be well mixed up, and give the home base the opportunity. That they are not playing foreign today does not mean they are not good. It's opportunity. Those that are playing foreign today have the opportunity to go. It's not that they are better than the ones back home. So that's why I'm pleading to him to look how he can mix up the team, and we will have a wonderful team in future.
Sir, it's been nice talking with you. And from Sports Central, EzeSportsTV, we are very happy and we say thank you very much for giving us your time.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Of course, it has been a wonderful time with Captain, Coach, Chairman Christian Chukwu, of course, MFR, of course, that's the title, the honor he was given to by the head of state when they won the Nations Cup in 1980. One of the best personality of Nigerian football, of course, African football at large, and we are happy to have this time sharing experience with you, our viewers. Of course, we continue to do this for you. This is still Sports Central on EzeSportsTV, and I'm still Kester. Thank you very much.